Aloha rising and grand tidings, one and all. Hope all is going well out there. We are getting into mid-November and we are dealing with some pretty powerful and potent new moon magic. And so I want to tune in a little bit today in terms of what some of those energies are going to be like, what the opportunity and invitation for each and every one of us is, and then how we can actually utilize it with rituals that work. And so as we go in through these different seasons, right, the different parts and pieces of the calendar year, what we see as we look to nature for guidance, for wisdom, are certain consistencies, right? As we look at this in terms of the consistency of the period of fall, as we go in from the autumn or fall equinox, and then in towards the winter solstice. This is a period that really allows us to come further within. When I say within, it's something that's much more internal. It is introversion, it is reflection, introspection. It is this aspect that allows us really to just be very present within the presence of ourself and what's actually happening beneath the surface. Now, this is incredible because this is where a lot of the work that happens within the emotional body takes place and transpires. And this is important because as we look at this, this is something that affects our beliefs, our perspectives, how it is that we interact and engage in the world. And as such, we want to attend to what these emotions are rather than suppressing, consciously pushing down, or repressing, unconsciously withholding information from ourselves. This can, can fester. It's like kind of dropping something behind the fridge or the oven, and that just begins to decay. It begins to ferment. I was going through some things in the garage, and I have this collapsible wagon. Last time I had used it was Halloween, so it wasn't that long ago. However, it was long enough that apparently somehow a piece of pumpkin got into the wagon. And when I opened up the wagon, there was covered in, mold frothing over this tiny little piece, but it was there nonetheless, fermenting on its own. And so, what is it that we are unaware of? What are we unattentive to that is coming up? And how is it that we are able to now release that? Because the feeling that I get for this moon period is to let go, let flow. And what that means is that there are things, as I've talked about before in the weekly rhythm, this is a good time to really take inventory on our lives, to do a simple journal exercise and to see where is it that we are in our own life right now and what more does more look like. And so with this, we're looking at that, the sensation is to be able to identify what it is that we're able, ready, willing, and wanting to release. What is it that we desire to let go? And these patterns, these people, these processes, whatever it is that we are looking at, how is it that we can clear more place and space for what it is that we truly desire? And ultimately, what we are wanting, what we are yearning for is something nothing short of our own presence, of presence itself, the essence of who we are. And as we go into this new era, this new stage, it's something that we really want to be able to have more spaciousness to. One of the things that I had meditated on at the beginning of this week, I guess that was technically yesterday, was voids and vacuums. And so I use the example of I'm here on an acre of property in Maui, and part of my own core values is this concept of malama aina, aloha aina, stewardship, being in relationship with the land itself. And so part of what I do on the regular is actually attend to the land. And what that looks like is getting out and finding areas that are wanting attention to often clear space to open up a place for something else. Now, the thing about that is if I clear a bunch of plants out of the area and all of a sudden there's just open dirt, nature abhors a vacuum. It will fill that. Little seedlings will start to come up. Started to I was just checking it yesterday, and an area that I cleared for the boys to play on just to soften the dirt and then to cover it with mulch. I haven't covered it yet, but I already started to see the little sproutlings coming up and out. And so, what does that mean? Well, as we let go, as we clear things that no longer serve us in our lives, we also want to consciously take the time to plant, to attend, and to focus upon what it is that we do desire. So, if, for example, I'm taking, I don't know, TV out of my life, if I want to take that out, then what is it that I'm going to replace it with? Because unless I am very conscientious and intentional, something else may just find its way into that space, into that slot. And so, what we want to do on this day, using this energy, is to one, do a 5 minute journal and just check in and see where life is for you right now. Look at that in terms of, rather than identifying the good and the bad, just objectively based upon the results of everyday life, identify where you are. Two, from that, what is it that we are desiring more of, right? We've already listed out or written out our journal piece for the first 5 minutes. Take another 5 minutes and just do some little dot points. What are the things that you really want to have more of in your life? More time, more connection, more magic, whatever it is that you are really intending and wanting. That's step two. Step three, what is it that you have the capacity to give up that will allow more of this in your life? And say, for example, if I write out, I'm like, wow, I actually spend a whole lot I don't, but I mean, as an example, I spend a lot of time watching TV. I'm spending 6 hours a day watching this, that, and the other. What could I do with 6 hours of focused, intentional time in my life? And then looking at, well, more looks like more time with the children, more time to play and enjoy, more time to dot, 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 dot. What does that require me to give up? Well, creating time to binge watch a series, taking time to, spend less time on my phone or on my laptop, whatever that may be. And so 1, 2, 3, we want to take inventory on where we are right now. 2, what does more look like? And 3, what is it that we are ready to give up to allow ourselves to be in that space? Now, writing it is good. That's a great start. To communicate more clearly and effectively, this is where ritual comes into play. And so utilizing the elements is something that I often like to do, especially in terms of a ritual, because if I'm lighting a fire, I'm very conscientious of what I'm doing. If I am going into the water for a cleansing, then I am very, serene and reverent of that moment. And so what we want to do is, whatever that last part is, we want to do a ritual to let go. As we let go of something, whether it's setting a fire to old letter, whether it is, burying something that no longer serves you, whether it's throwing something away, whatever it is for you, just create an action that is highly intentional as it is immersive. And in doing so, will allow you to communicate more clearly, easily, and effortlessly to what it is that your true intentions really are. Okay, that's it for now. Love and aloha.